Du snillig slående. Irrsnell quite och se har flash no renloin as I think there's a very good reason you'll never go to a job fair at a high school and they'll show you the alcohol industry because no one else is going to choose another industry.
I'm going to be honest with you. We have no business being on this mission. But in our family, a call to action was issued, and we answered that call with enthusiasm, assuming we could easily wiggle some whiskey into our luggage.
Nice color. Being kind of presumptuous with this pour.
It is 136 proof or something.
137.2. Right where I like it. This bottle came from, or was selected by Southern Spirits, which is in South Carolina.
So our adventure begins in the Carolinas. Having landed in Charlotte, we beelined into the border for a hut. We knew that we'd need to properly fuel up to ease our travel weariness and soon-to-be aching bodies. Southern Spirits, just over the line in South Carolina, had reached out and invited us to stop by, and very eager to get into their secret bourbon room, we happily obliged.
Oh yeah. This is the room. This is where the good stuff is. We're in the vault. The famous vault. It's cool to actually be in here in person. Because I've seen it on the internet, but...
They're gonna listen to see if you're hiding stuff in your clothes when you leave.
Yeah. I know, I gotta actually go to the car, get my sweatshirt on. It's like a little cold in here just to, you know. No, but also just looking around, this room is crazy. Some good bottles in here, especially on this table here. That's highly coveted.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the full proof is a tough one to get. What is that, Michter's? Toasted barrel. Yeah, purple top. There's quite a table here.
My parents were living in South Charlotte, and there was only one main liquor store. It's called Frugal McDougal's, amazing liquor store. They are located on Southwest Charlotte. It was a long drive for them, so my dad had an idea to build a liquor store between his home and the other liquor store. So I've been part of the business for, literally from the beginning. When I was a kid, I got paid 25 cents per bag of ice when I was 8 years old. And then when I turned 12, I had a firework business. We would get rid of a bunch of beer every year and pack it full of fireworks. And it was my responsibility to buy the fireworks with my dad and then sell the fireworks. And that's how I made money as a kid. It's been pretty fun, to be honest, because it's pretty unique seeing everything from such a young perspective at 18, choosing to do this industry instead of college and going straight into retail, and then seeing it from the bottom up, I would say, because this industry in alcohol is so controlled and ran by gatekeepers. People just stay in their way. What if it was done 20 years ago, they're doing the same thing. There's not a lot of innovation in alcohol yet.
Okay, we're gonna come back to Southern Spirits in a few minutes. I love a great liquor store. I love a great liquor story. But we are in the Carolinas for a deeper mission, a higher calling. Dad, can you paint a picture of our weekend for us?
Well, we sat in a car for 14 hours and farted.
It's true.
Before that. Before all that.
Maybe it was 16 hours. We drove all the way to the east side of North Carolina, and we helped my dad, your grandpa, stain a deck. A very long deck with a pergola top. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Hey, we're stuck at the front gate. What's your street number again?
You're set. The deputy had called her. Tell them that you're my son.
We told her.
I don't want to shoot her or anything. But
No, they got Ryan with his arms on the roof and his legs spread in the back.
I've never purposely stained a deck. I mean, I can barely paint in the lines, and I don't mean that in some sort of poetic way. I mean, I am not gonna be good at this. That's part of my charm, I think. But I'm a quick learner, and I've recently discovered I like menial tasks, if it means I get to spend time with our grandfather. That's the real reason Devin and our dad drove 14 hours from Michigan to meet us here in Whiskeyland, in Pinehurst, and why at the end of this trip, we will all drive back to Michigan together to keep our spirit journey moving ever forward. Now, our work was approached with the utmost considerations, but a big question was at hand. Can we get this done in under 24 hours?
Like that.
Keep showing me? I'm not sure how.
Right in between like that.
Now show me for about half an hour.
Just like that. That's all you gotta do.
Liquor, can you take the call on line 1, please? Liquor, line 1.
In bourbon hunting, it's important to know that either you play the game or the game plays you. Either way, you gotta take your shot.
I've never seen it like that. Toasted caramel custard sounds kind of good.
It doesn't have to be like necessarily a Buffalo Trace or anything like that, but I like to find stuff that is hard for me to normally find at local liquor stores. Yeah, 18 and 12. That's awesome. I think it's really cool. They're customer allocated bottles. Being a loyal customer, that you get access to buy. They're very rare allocated bottles. Gold ticket. Enter the correct 4 digits. 9263.
And at Southern Spirits, they know it's better to be the house than to play the house.
There's only 1,360 something combination. You'd never guess that.
Why don't we try Devin's bank code?
That feeling of being addicted to the hunt is in itself the reward, because you have a chance at greatness.
I want to check this one. I'm going to use my birthday.
And that greatness may come at a cost, at least MSRP.
Must turn green if you choose it right.
Yep.
But you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be enough time for counting when the dealing's done.
5-second game is just a interesting twist on the opportunity for rare bourbon. So people come play. As soon as they open the door to come to this room, which we call the vault here at Southern Spirits, basically just a room full of rare bourbon. They have 5 seconds to get their hand on a bottle. They can pick any rare bottle they want, and it can be anywhere from just good customers, random customers. Literally anybody can play. It's either by chance or by invitation. From what I see in the alcohol community, bourbon specifically, is there's a lot of juice that's ready to be bottled or just sitting. So it really depends on the supply allowed from the distilleries at this point, because the juice is there, it's ready to be bottled literally now. So are we going to see a bunch of 6-year-old juice released, and are we going to see a plethora of E.H. Taylor? I think probably realistically, I think we're going to see a plethora of Weller. I think we're going to see a plethora of Russell's age statements in the next couple of years. They're going to be sitting everywhere. And then at that point, I think the juice is still going to explode. There'll still be a ton of consumption and purchasing. I think we're going to see, I call it the flood, and the flood is coming. So you have a flood of now alcohol that everybody's been chasing, looking for. Now it's available. So now I think a lot of these overpriced baby juice distilleries will die. But I still think consumption is still up. I think when we see distilleries utilize, whether it's blockchain technology, some sort of open source ledger, and we can actually track the grain to the glass legitimately and see that using technology, that will separate a lot of distilleries going forward. So if you want to survive the flood, I think you're going to have to innovate.
Drew to liquor counter. Drew to liquor counter.
Let me go check on this customer real quick, and I'll be right back.
Our visit to Southern Spirits was fun, but it was short. And it got cut off when our friend here had to buzz off to chat with a client about donating bottles to a charity. You see, the good work that booze can do, honestly, somehow never ends. But we loved how their store makes bourbon hunting a real game, and how they prioritize their community, and how when we challenge the spirits industry to innovate, an old dog can definitely learn new tricks. As a kid, I always sort of felt like my dad volunteered us for the jobs no one else wanted to do. Like it was some sort of burden he needed to bear. Like he needed to earn love through labor. What I didn't realize was that my dad was carving out time for us to be together. And the structure of a project was the best way his engineer brain knew how to do it. His love language is literally hard work. And if I'm being honest, I struggle a little bit with authority, and I still have a hard time taking orders from him. But watching him work has always been a source of inspiration. He taught us to take our time and do things right. Being in North Carolina, earning every ounce of whiskey that we're gonna consume together is our way of assuring our family stays connected. We spend our day making jokes, listening to great songs, and soaking in the good fortune of more time with our grandfather than we've had in years. There's a silliness that comes over us that reminds us to look back and find that playful inner child. And we just try not to paint the deck like he would.
Man, we were dedicated to getting this deck done. And so we worked hard Saturday for several hours. I mean, when I say several hours, right, we started at about 8:30? And we worked our butt off, and then we took a break for an hour, right? And that hour was spent sitting at the table talking to him, right? So it was special. Well, it's just difficult to get all of us together in any way, right? I mean, with you guys out on the East Coast, and I mean, it's hard just to get Devin to come out 45 minutes, right? So yeah, having all four of us together, Devin getting off work, taking a day to go with me, and we had a good time, and so that's cool. That's a special thing.
I think that whiskey begs of its most faithful followers to ask of themselves many questions. One that I've been wrestling with lately is how to frame up a memory in the context of a real-time experience. For you, this is unfolding in real time. For me, it's a recollection, a memory. And maybe I need to cool it on the warm-up drinks, but it has me thinking about something. My grandfather, and this precious time that we have with him. I feel like it's important to be present, but also, like a great bottle of bourbon, the past is an important part of the story. So I drift, trying to gather this whole world of time in each conversation. But also, I'm always looking back, alive with memories. My grandfather is also alive with memories, some of which the details have been lost to time, but their energy is eternal, living somewhere in the floating subconscious ether we all carry around on a string, like a ball filled with our collective human experience. Some lines tethered together, others whipping back and forth in the winds of our past, like one of those funny balloons in front of a car dealership.
Remember that lady?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever frame it?
No, I still have a pile that needs to get framed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the church photo, I think, that I famously upset the photographer by doing the Elvis lip.
Well, that's another one you might want to do yourself, you know, put it in the... This is a nice... I haven't found out who did this, but when I do, I can give that one to you.
When did you start collecting art?
I just love it. It's just pictures. It's not really art, I guess. There's a...
What are you like attracted to when you see something?
Flowers. Boats. This is
Flowers, boats, and ladies.
yeah, oh, I love ladies. Wow. This is well, the French do the ladies, so they know how to do that.
They do.
Here's a camera for you too. Where's my camera? There it is. But you know, some of this stuff, yeah, I have to move. I have to get rid of. We were looking at a bigger house at that time. But let's see what we got here. This is one of the best pictures because we're all sober or whatever.
Let me see it. Sober. Oh.
I don't think there's a guarantee that you're all sober there.
Pretty sure you're holding a beer in the picture.
No. That's a root beer.
Was that your parents? Grandma, great grandma and grandpa? Right there next to the statue?
The bust here? The head?
Oh, yes. Yes, yeah. Yeah, that's Grandma and Grandpa. I think that was down in Traverse City. Anyway, it was, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that.
They were not real picture phobias. And there's Bruce and Linda and Clark.
What was your dad like? How would you have described him? Because I can only really remember him by pictures.
He was a very quiet, very peaceful guy. He was very nice.
But do you remember that even like as a kid, him being peaceful?
The kid is nasty. You know? He's always telling me no. So, but in general, he was a wonderful, soft. It's the way the whole family developed then, you know. So you grow up that way. That's a nice thing. I was really, I was a potential monster, you know? But yeah.
What do you think, though? You think that was just in your bones already? Like, where did the monster come from?
Yeah.
So do you think that there's a decade that you recall that you liked the most?
I'm not sure because it seems to me like it's faded a little behind. It was like it faded away a lot, but you didn't have anything to replace it. Mm-hmm. You know, and when you're younger, you can replace it because everything's just, you know, it's like wow, wow, wow. You know, went out Saturday night and got drunk and running around and you know.
I fixed your door.
Did you break my door?
No, I fixed it.
Oh.
My grandfather is at a stage in his life where he's spreading out the objects that he cherishes, hoping they will continue to be held and admired. And in a way, so shall he. We are truly grateful not just to have these little pieces from his collection, but to have the stories that follow them from place to place. Just like each pour of whiskey is an invitation, our experiences invite us into a special place, somewhere between a memory and the present.
My dad lives far enough away that it's hard to help him, but when we do, it's a big project, right? And so try to help him out however, whenever we can. So yeah, I mean, and his parting words were, you know, he wished we lived closer, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's always nice to spend time with them. When you hug them goodbye, you hug them hard because you never know, right? If that's the last one, so you make it special.
A job well done, at least to the best of our abilities, is worth celebrating. To tell this story, our friends at Original Grain understood the mission. And if I'm being totally transparent, they didn't even hesitate or ask a ton of questions, which allowed us the freedom to truly tell a story about time that meant something more to us. We trusted them to provide some beautiful watches and some travel money, and in return, we would honor their commitment to craft and time well spent by helping our grandfather with a task that would be otherwise impossible to him. We could also now afford some extra stain, which we needed, by the way, because I kind of overdid it. But was this hard work? Yes. Was it an easy excuse to spend time sipping good whiskey with our dad? Well, he beat us at putt-putt? Yep, you bet it was. Was it worth a collective 28 hours of drive time and pulled back muscles to spend our lunch breaks sitting around a table with our 82-year-old grandfather talking about the old times? Every single damn moment. Cheers to that. Well, so as you know, this episode is sponsored by Original Grain, the watch company. So, you know what's coming next, right?
No.
I got you a watch.
You lying.
I got you a watch.
You're fucking lying.
Because you're a good dad. I'm proud of you.
Really?
For real. And you're a good brother.
Man.
Here, give it to me. I need drum roll, please. So, you got your watch.
Oh, heck
Check it out, bro.
yeah.
Original Grain, man. It's made from whiskey barrels.
That is cool right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
We figured, you know.
Oh, dang. This is like a fancy watch.
Yeah. It's just like, this, you know what I was thinking about when we were going through Grandpa's garage, and he's got all this stuff that he's collected over the years. These beautiful objects that now he's passing down to us. Like an Original Grain watch, in my opinion, is something that you can pass down to one of your kids someday.